we're seeing is 0 to 60 days, and then the gray line is 60 plus days for your arrival date. So if you booked, January 29th, that we're showing you your arrival dates in the orange line. I will walk through just this one spike here, and then I'll jump to the next slides. This was a big push, and a lot driven from U.S. data, but a big push from when spring breaks were extended through May for lots of the schools. A lot of people just wanted to go and spend that time in local drive-in markets. So spring breaks were beginning of March into February. Schools announced that they were canceling school through the end of March. So a lot of activity and bookings were made for arrivals within 30 days, with the mindset of people, or what we've driven into, of saying that those people wanted to drive into local markets to sort of weather the storm, so to speak. Obviously, that dropped off very quickly with the stay-at-home orders that were quickly added throughout the entire world here as well. I will point out, if you can see here, that our bookings have started to slowly increase. Now, these are bookings for those particular dates. The arrival dates for those have been late summer and early fall, which we'll jump into over here. So quickly, just breaking down Europe versus North America, we're showing your number of COVID cases on the top line here, and then we're showing your year-over-year change in bookings here. So you can see the real effect started hitting Europe in February. A lot of you have already seen this, so again, I'm going to just jump through it quicker here. But one thing, again, I'll note, and you'll see a little bit in Europe and more so in the United States, is that the past 3 or 4 days have really increased in booking activity. Not a significant increase, but all we're looking for now is any sign of hope, and sort of looking at that data and trying to see what that'll look like in the future. When will the arrival dates be? And when should we start and change and adjust our market, which we'll dive into further as we get into our product detail. Jumping over to the Europe in particular, we're showing canceled dates down here. Again, this is the same percent change in bookings, so just a little bit different view of the graph that we were showing earlier. Showing cancellations, obviously the big spikes were in March, and we had quite a few at the end of March and beginning of April, but those have pretty much tapered down since we have, everyone's already adjusted and reacted for the vacations there. And then finally, over to the same chart for the United States. We do show a little bit different here. We're showing your adjusted paid occupancy rate pacing going forward. The black line at the top is going to be 2019 final. So where did we end up for occupancy for 2019? The orange line is going to show as of dating. So as of the 19th, let's see, that's 2 days ago, as of Sunday, where's our occupancy pacing going forward? And then in 2020, where are we currently at? So you can see these two lines, the 2019 pacing and 2020 pacing, are getting closer as we get to the end of June. If we were to extrapolate this out, you'll see that July, August, September are looking much better as far as where we're pacing. And a lot of that's going to have to do with some of the bookings that we are starting to see come in over the past couple days. And with that, I'll turn it over to Anurag to jump into his data set and walk through what they're seeing.
Scott, I think you have to stop sharing screen.
Let's see. Sorry about that.
Right, thank you everyone for joining. What I'm going to do in the next 5 minutes is first take some time to just go over some of the trends that we are seeing in the data, which are very similar to what Scott shared, but seen slightly differently. And then I want to share 2 quick tools so that you can see this kind of data yourself, and then get into Trice Labs as a product itself. And a lot of you might already know, and a lot of you might not know what Trice Labs does. I'll cover that a little bit, but then really go into what can you do in enterprise labs right now to be able to adjust your strategies around what we are seeing in the data. So with that in mind, the first thing I want to bring up is some broad trends we are seeing, and these trends are changing, and they're different by each country and each region. But at a worldwide level, we are seeing obviously bookings are down 80-85%, depends on the region. I think Australia is faring better, Europe is much worse. Average length of stay we are seeing is up 2x, and then booking lead time is really shortened, and this is again similar to what Scott had shared. The data that we see here is all going to be the first part, and this presentation is all like booking data of reservations that were paid reservations. And after that, I'll show you some other tools where you can get at a much more granular level, and that's going to be from data that is scanned from the OTAs. Now, just looking at how many bookings have been coming in, we have split this out by country, and on the bottom, you'll see that we started off creating these charts somewhere in early Feb, and then we are tracking over time how these are changing. You'll see that UK, the number of bookings has really come down, but compared to Spain, Italy, Portugal, and France, UK and Europe are still doing somewhat better. And Scott, I don't know if this slight increase is what you were seeing in the data as well, but it could be also that we serve slightly different markets, and then that's the difference that's coming in.
That's exactly right, yes. Similar to what we were seeing as well for the United States there.
Sounds good, yeah. So, but yeah, in general, we are seeing that while US and UK are fine, and I know Australia is also not fine, but at least the other countries, Spain, Italy, Portugal, and France, really seem to like drop a lot worse, which is obviously a sign of how things have been in each of the countries, where countries have gone on complete lockdown versus US, there is a stay at home, but it's not mandated in some ways. Now, the other, we know that bookings have dropped and everybody has noticed this. The other thing we wanted to try and find out was, are people actually seeing longer bookings come in? So what we did was the same previous chart where we were tracking how many new bookings are coming in. We now broke it down. We only looked at bookings that were 15 days or longer, 15 to 60 days long. And in US, we see that there used to be a small volume of these bookings that used to come in. That has almost doubled. That actually almost doubled, and now it has started coming down again. Keep in mind that these bookings were a very small portion of overall bookings for short-term rental or vacation rental managers. So although it looks like some significant increase has been there in these midterm bookings, the overall number of bookings is still low. The good news is that, if there is any good news here, is that these midterm bookings do occupy a lot more days. So in terms of occupancy, they're contributing more than short-term bookings. Unfortunately, in Europe, again, that trend has not been as pronounced. We are seeing some increase, but it's nowhere close to what we saw in the US. So again, this is probably down to the stricter lockdowns that have been put in place in many European countries. The third big trend that we saw is, this is the same chart that you saw in the previous two slides. This is the number of new bookings that were made on each day. And the biggest segment that we see that has dropped off is the far out bookings. So the colors here are lead times. So bookings that were made more than 6 months out, bookings that were made 2 to 6 months out, 1 to 2 months out, and so on. And we are seeing that now the people who are booking either the same day stays or last minute stays that started within a week, those are still, I mean, they have dropped. Same day bookings, actually, it almost seems like they might not have dropped as much, but the last minute, last week bookings have dropped, but they are still there. Like, you can still notice that they are there. The bookings that were used to happen farther out for summer and early summer, late summer, midsummer, those are the ones that have completely dried up. Like, they have become thin slivers from what they used to be. Now, what this means is at least with all the cancellations that happened, right now there is a lot of occupancy open everywhere that can take bookings. But your summer, like who are booking have a lot of options for the coming few days, like coming few weeks and stuff like that. And they are only booking for the next week or so. So from that perspective, and on the perspective of length of stay shifts that we are seeing, in general, our recommendations have been to put in a lot more aggressive length of stay discounts. The thought here is, if there is any demand for longer stays, try to get that demand or attract that demand, and get some revenue into the door if you're still allowed to be open for business. The second one is, given that there is so much supply out there, try to put in some last minute discounts, more aggressive than you used to earlier, and see if those help attract anyone. Now, if you saw the previous chart, you know that not many people are booking for summer and fall, and maybe even the holiday season coming up, where we used to see at least some bookings come in even this far out. What everybody is thinking right now is that nobody has any guarantees of, if they do book something, whether they'll be able to make it. And from that perspective, it is really important to proactively allow for flexible cancellations. And the thought there is, if anybody is booking farther out, and like Scott mentioned, like people are beginning to book for late summer and fall, they would need some assurance that if things don't get better, then they will be able to get a refund. And that might not be ideal, but in some ways that's the only option left in some ways. Because if things are not fine, then people will eventually anyways cancel. If you give them the option, there is some hope that they might book, and if things are better, then you are the one that is booked, even with a suppressed demand. The last one, and then I'll speak to this a lot more. I'll speak to the aggressive last minute discounts, LOS discounts, and fewer restrictions as I do the get into price labs as well. But the last one is just fewer restrictions. Like even if earlier you used to do 7-night stays during summer, given that summer is far out, it's still okay to have those 7-night stays. But as they get closer in, you might want to reduce those and start allowing shorter bookings, because a lot of people booking last minute might not have the entire week to stay, or a lot of people might, instead of booking longer trips which requires flying to a destination, they might now just book weekend trips that are more to drive to destinations. So with that in mind, I also wanted to give pointers to some of the resources we have. One of them is, if you go to our landing page, you'll see a coronavirus page, and I'll give you a quick snapshot of that. And then if you have any questions, either on the data that I showed previously or what I'm going to show right now, just send us an email on support@pricelabs. Doing a quick time check. I think I have 10 more minutes. The first resource I mentioned, like if you go to our landing page, you'll see a COVID-19 tab, and if you click on global data, there is also US state data, but I'm assuming a lot of people here are from Europe. So if you look at global data, you'll see there are 3 or 4 different charts where you can select your country. And I've chosen Portugal here, where you can see, and this data, unlike the previous data, which was reservation, this data is like in different OTAs. You'll be able to see how bookings have been dropping, and then hopefully in some time how they start picking back up. But even before they start picking back up, we want to provide more information about what's been changing. So you'll be able to see the occupancy trends, what dates are people canceling for. So it looks like in Portugal, a lot of people are beginning to cancel their stays in May. Very few new bookings coming in, a lot more cancellations happening in May compared to how many new bookings are coming in. You'll be able to see, compared to early March, how have lead times been changing. So early March used to see about 15% bookings that were last minute, and now you're seeing 42% bookings that are last minute. So this is very similar to what we saw earlier. And then similarly, how has length of stay been changing? So this midterm stays, which used to be be a very thin sliver seems to have expanded a little bit. Now, we are also working on creating these tools so that you'll be able to put in an address and be able to see trends that are very localized, so that country level graphs might not mean as much, but if you want to see exactly what's happening in your area, these tools are going to be released either later this week or early next week. We have them almost wrapped up, and we're working on finally making it available to everyone. And we're going to be providing this as a free resource for the next foreseeable future. All right, so now, based on all of this data, like the question now becomes, what can be done from a pricing and revenue management perspective? And I want to quickly jump into Price Labs for the next 7 minutes and give a quick demo of how things work here. If you are an Avantio user, and if you already use that, then you already know a lot of this stuff that I'm going to talk about early on, but the stuff later might be useful as well. If you don't use Price Labs, but you do essentially is from Avantio you can get credentials to import your listings. You'll get your username, password, and API key, and hit connect, and at that point you'll see all your Avantio listings show up in this table. You can review prices. So when you review prices, you'll see that we will estimate a base price for you. You can put in a minimum price, you can put in a maximum price. You can also go in and, for example, get seasonal profiles. So you can say, depending on the season, if you want to have a base price, a minimum price, and a maximum price, you can add as many seasons as you want to span the entire year. All of this is to give you a lot more control over your pricing strategy and how it looks. So there are two ways of using Price Labs. One is you set up your base minimum price and let us take a lot of control. But we work with professional managers who need more control over their pricing strategy. So we have also created tools where, in addition to seeing our raw recommendations, you can also create customization to say, how do you want your pricing strategy to look like? What should the last minute discounts be? When there is a gap between two bookings, how do you want to change the prices for those? There's also, this is what I was talking about earlier, about fewer restrictions. So we have something what we call dynamic minimum stay. What you can do is you can say, I want the minimum stay of the weekend to be 2 nights, and weekend to be 3 nights and weekdays to be 2 nights. But you can also say, if it is within the last 7 days, drop everything to 2 nights. So even the weekends become 2. And if you have more flexibility in your operations, you can drop them to 1 night. So these are like completely up to you what you want there. You can also say, if it is more than 30 days out, I want a minimum stay of 3 nights. If it is more than 120 days out, then 5 nights, and so on. And then this is something fairly useful where you can say, if you have minimum stay of 5 nights or 7 nights over summer, and then you have a gap in your bookings where there are only 4 days left, we can automatically reduce the minimum stay so that you can take a booking. Instead of those 4 days being left with no possibility of anyone booking because the minimum stay is 7 nights, now we'll automatically drop the minimum stay there. And again, the minimum stay gets dropped. You still have control to say, if there is a gap that is 1 night or shorter, I want to increase the price. So that I want to increase the price by 50%. If it's a gap of 2 nights, then I'm fine the way it is. I'll take a 2-night booking, that's okay. But if it is a 1-night gap, I want to bump up the price and things like that. So it gives you a lot more options to, like these customizations give you a lot of options to really go in and dial down your pricing strategy. And as a part of that strategy, what we did was, we have something called occupancy-based adjustments. So if I turn those on, you'll see there are various profiles here where you can say, for this listing, in the next 15 days, if my occupancy is less than 10%, then give an additional discount of 15%. And what we did was we developed a new table here called coronavirus, where these are a lot more aggressive discounts, and they only apply for the next 60 days. At this point, we are saying our automated algorithms, we don't want to adjust things out. So the scope of coronavirus's impact, we don't know beyond 60 days what's going to happen. But we are going to, for the next 60 days, you can come in and turn the setting on. You can also customize the setting to add more columns here, or make it more aggressive or less aggressive. And what it does is, even not just right now, but even during recovery, this is going to be very helpful, where in the next 15 days or 16 to 30 days out or 1 to 2 months out, depending on how occupied your listing is, the discounts will be dynamic, and you can even make them premium. So you can say, hey, if I'm not booked because a lot is going on in the world, try to give deep discounts and get somebody. But as I start getting bookings, if a lot of people start booking suddenly, you might not have time to go in and change your rates, but our algorithms will automatically pick up that, hey, now your listing is booked a lot more than it used to be yesterday, and we automatically update rates based on that. So you can define your strategy so that not just during this lean period, but also as recovery happens, your rates are reacting to how much demand is there. And you're not, if you do reduce your rate, you're not stuck with them when a bunch of people start booking, if there is a recovery like that. So we don't know whether it will be a V-shaped recovery where things will bounce back or they don't. But in any case, this will be able to react to what's happening in your portfolio. Now, I already mentioned the capabilities of setting these seasonal settings, where you can say in high season, my low price is 225, and in low season it might be 31. This is an example here. But all of the discounts that we talked about, the last minute discounts and the occupancy discounts, they will always honor the minimum price settings and the maximum price settings. So you don't have to worry if the automated discounts become too much. They will not go below your minimum price, and quite possibly they should only go to the minimum price if you're not booked at all, to try and get you some. The other thing I wanted to show on this front is a lot of our managers and customers have not one listing, but they have hundreds of listings. And in that case, it becomes a lot more useful to use what we call customizations. If you come to dynamic pricing and click on customizations, you can create groups. So instead of managing these settings for each listing one by one, I can create a group for Barcelona, or I can create a group by city and bedroom type, and I can have all those settings applied at a portfolio level. I can also say, for example, suppose I chose those minimum stay settings of far out minimum should be 5 nights, then it becomes 3, then 2, then if there is an orphan night, then something else. What you can do here is you can come and say, all those settings are fine for normal times, but in my high season, I still want to protect and maybe make the minimum stay 7 nights. So I can still come in and do it, but I can still come in and set a minimum price for all listings or make a price adjustment. It's an automated tool, but it also has the flexibility of you putting in your own input as somebody who knows the market or somebody who understands their portfolio a lot better. Now, once you've done all of this, you can go back and then assign all your Barcelona listings to the right group, and that automatically takes care of applying the right rules for each listing. And then the last thing we have been working on, this is still in beta, is a lot of people who have hundreds of listings. It's useful to be able to see things on a calendar, then go one by one. But if you manage a lot of listings, you can also do all of that in a multi-calendar much more efficiently. So you can make changes to your prices here, set a minimum stay of 4 nights and make a price 500, and then go do something else for the next listing, and so on and so forth. So instead of doing everything one by one, you can really become more efficient at managing rates, not just by automation, but also by combining it with your own price. So the last topic on this pricing front that I want to cover is length of stay discounts. So in terms of coronavirus, we covered minimum stay stuff, we covered the occupancy discount. The last thing is length of stay discounts. These are managed in Avantio currently. So in Avantio, there is a section called supplements and discounts. All of these rates that we sent are sent as daily rates to Avantio or seasonal rates. And then any supplements and discounts you have in Avantio will get applied on top of it. So if you use PriceLab and Avantio, or even if you just use PriceLab, one of the things we are saying right now is in discounts and supplements, you can create a seasonal setting for the next 2 months for example, to try and give length of stay discounts only for that period, because I don't want to give super discounted long stays far out, especially if it's getting into your peak period. But you can create one for specific seasons, and that way you can try to salvage the current low demand period as much as possible. With that, I think I'm out of time, and also I think I've covered a fair bit of what I wanted to cover. And I think Scott will take it back now, and then we'll get back to Q&A.
Yeah, thank you, Anurag. I've actually got two of our revenue managers and partner success managers on, Tyler Ashby and Jennifer Talbert, that I'm going to turn it over to jump into our product and how we're utilizing it and how all of our partners are utilizing it to stay ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tyler. Let me know when you can see my screen here. It looks like it's making me do a little work for it, but let's see. Give me just 1 second.
And I will mention while Tyler pulls that up, we are offering for any new Avantio clients. I know we have a lot of you on the call already working with KeyData. We do have a free subscription to our service through June 15th for any new Avantio clients. No commitment, no anything. So if you guys are interested in that, just reach out through our website, keydatadashboard.com. I know that Price Labs is also offering a similar trial through June 15th. I'll let Anurag talk to that, but just to let you all know beforehand, we'll address that at the end as well.
Scott, it's not allowing me to share. Can you pull up the...
Yep, I'll pull this up. It looks like we lost Tyler here.
Sorry guys, are you able to hear me now? All right, so while Scott's pulling up the dashboard for us, Jennifer and I are really excited to be here. We want to take this opportunity to just show you a quick demonstration of the KeyData dashboard. And essentially, what we do, we show you your data, and this is direct fed, real-time data, so that you can make better decisions about revenue strategy, pricing, and performance. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about is really how to evaluate performance, both looking at past and future. And we're showing you your company snapshot right now. Keep in mind, we have 20 reports. They're all stacked in the left-hand side of the KeyData dashboard. And then on the right-hand side, we've got filters and the ability for you to break down your portfolio into to different areas so that you can really determine performance. In this company snapshot, what's very unique here is that you've got the ability to identify connections between different pieces of your data. So right now, we're showing the current year for this company, which is the solid blue line, and we're looking across 4 different key performance indicators: ADR, adjusted paid occupancy, RevPAR, and then rental revenue. Now, you could probably pull each of these things out of Avantio in different reports, but it's often very challenging to get this real-time information, year-over-year pacing, with each of these key performance indicators in one place. And so what we can see here is really the connection between rate and occupancy, and then how that plays out. You can add other KPIs in as well. Scott, if you'll slide over to our KPIs on the right, I'd like for you to add in canceled stays or booking window, because I want to show some of the depth of the different key performance indicators that we can provide. Keep in mind that we're looking at data as of today, and the dotted line in the visualization last year as of this same day. So we're able to see true apples to apples how we're doing and how we're pacing moving forward. So Scott's added in canceled days. If you slide down, perfect. We can see that, of course, for this company, March, April, May, and into June, our canceled stays are much higher than that dotted line last year. We can see that our traveler anxiety, or the span at which customers are canceling stays in advance, really diminishes as we get in to June and July for this particular customer. This is information that could be very useful to you whenever you start digging into your data and you're starting to look for trends to pay attention to. The next report we're going to go to is pacing details. So if you slide back up to the top, and Jennifer is going to run us through the pacing detail report.
Thank you, Tyler. This is one of my favorite reports to work with clients on. You've got quite a range of information here. It's very similar to the company snapshot, but you're really kind of looking or digging into one different KPI at a time. And as Tyler said, we have a very long list of KPI data that you can evaluate. So this report is really to kind of help you get very granular and looking at groups of properties together. You have the ability to set up custom unit groups in KeyData. So I know a lot of clients that I currently work with in Europe, they like to group their properties together based on minimum night stays. If units are located in a certain apartment building in town and one is a little closer to the coast, anything that helps you kind of distinguish or differentiate different inventory types, you have the ability to set those up. So you can analyze those at one time as a group and see how they're doing. So specifically for this report, you can see that there's some events for this company indicated on here. We're looking at adjusted paid occupancy, which is your total nights booked, total nights available, less owner nights, and hold nights. So you can see they obviously have some events throughout the year that really tend to drive in traffic to their area. I know a lot of clients are currently setting up events to indicate COVID-19. It's not an event we really want to indicate or call it an event even, but it is definitely something that affects your data and has had an effect on your data. So it's worth seeing the results of that and when it started, either certain lockdowns, you can mark those, certain things that were announced in the media that had an effect on your data. Scott, if you want to navigate to the KPIs for me and add to the top KPIs, canceled stays with occupancy. Perfect. So you have the ability to layer two KPIs at a time here. So we can go ahead and turn off the events at the top, kind of get some of those out of the way. So what you can see here is you've got, just as you were looking at on the last report, you can see the blue lines are going to indicate the canceled stays this year. You can turn off the dotted lines for last year, so that would be great. Thank you. So the orange line is showing occupancy for this year, and the blue line is showing the canceled stays. And what I really wanted to point out, or what Tyler and I both wanted to point out, is that kind of intersection there between June and July down at the bottom. You can see where canceled stays are falling off and your occupancy is coming back up. It's not where we want it to be, the occupancy. This company is typically pacing a lot higher for July this time of year. But that is where you can use KeyData to kind of dig in a little bit deeper into groups, bedroom types, etc., to see what specifically from July out to fall for this company, where do you have the opportunity to increase rate or hold rate steady or make adjustments to your minimum night restrictions, as Anurag said, which is a very big thing to consider right now in summer. So this report, again, you can get very granular with your dates as well. You can also adjust and add in previous year's data, so you can have up to 3 years worth of data on the screen. And you can always shorten your date ranges up to see the data weekly versus daily if you have less than 30 days selected. And then from here, we're going to navigate to the leaderboard report. Is that where we're going next, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm going to go over this one as well. So this is kind of your next step report that you want to come to. Once you're starting to dig in a little deeper to those areas, kind of find where you might have some opportunity for groups of properties, this is the report you really want to start to get your heels into what's actually happening across certain inventory types. The more you filter, where all your filters are on the right-hand side there, you can remove and add certain KPIs. You can change your different locations for markets that you're in, or you can use your custom unit groups, which is most effective on this page if you're grouping your properties based on things that differentiate them from other groups of properties. This is where you can really do a side-by-side comparison of not only your unit for this year versus last year, but your units against similar inventory that you have as well. So if you're looking at this, you're viewing each individual property on the left. It operates like a spreadsheet would. You can sort different columns, you can navigate things around. But you're looking in the value columns, you're seeing the revenue for this year compared to the revenue as of this day last year. So you're looking at that pacing. And then you get a difference column. And you can also change that from a percent change to a raw value right there at the top. So if you want to select that for me. Thank you. I prefer this view. I like to see the dollar amount. Some people prefer change. You also get that side-by-side view for multiple KPIs as well. So this really provides you with a full analysis of what's going on. You can shorten your date ranges up. You know, we know that intersection for this company was right around that July time period is when things are kind of back to normal a little bit. So maybe we look July to August and August to September to kind of shorten the dates up to evaluate what's happening in the properties. And once you put some dates in and do that, shorten it up a little bit, thank you, Scott, then you can start to see, you know, looking at the entire year, it's going to look, you're not pacing where you should be on your properties, right? Now you want to kind of see where you might have some opportunity. This is where you can kind of see that. Comparing occupancy to ADR and RevPAR, which kind of expand out. You click in a box, you use your arrow keys, you can slide over. This is where you want to start comparing KPIs to each other. You know, what effect is your occupancy having with your ADR on your RevPAR? How can you increase that RevPAR more? Do you need to sacrifice occupancy a little bit for rate, etc.? So this helps you kind of strategize on groups of properties or individual units. Tyler, do you have anything you want to add to this report?
No, I think that that's great. So one thing that I wanted to point out is that, you know, this can be complicated, right? You know, if this is the first time that you're looking at some of these key performance indicators, or really digging in to be able to see, you know, the performance of your units, I want you to keep in mind that you have a team of partner success managers at KeyData that help you to understand your own data, to transition from making decisions from your gut and instead from your data. So one more report in our last minute here is owner reports, and this is something that is unique in KeyData. Of course, you have owner statements and a Avandio, and you provide accounting for your homeowners, but this is less about accounting, and this is more about performance. So shifting the conversation with a homeowner from maintenance charges and, you know, revenue after commission instead to unit performance, and you can begin to work together to make more money together. So in the beginning here, we select a unit on the right-hand side. We have one selected, and what we can see is that we're getting current year as of today in the table at the top for rent, occupancy, the number of guest days, guest nights, etc. And then we have last year pacing, right? So we can see not just where are we at right now compared to how we finished last year, but where were we at the same time last year? So we can see, are we up, are we down, is there opportunity? And then of course the last column is how we finished. Below that, we have visualizations for each of these KPIs. So we can see rent year over year, guest stays versus owner stays, which can create some really unique opportunities to have conversations around, owner usage and how much rent you may be sacrificing as a homeowner if you come and stay during the high season versus off season. And then finally at the bottom, we've got your current reservation list. What's really great about this report is that you have the opportunity to remove any of the KPIs that you don't want to show. We understand that conversations with homeowners are often around a story that we're presenting. Either it's that we're blowing it out of the water with occupancy, or we get you the most money for every stay. You can craft that story with this owner report because you have the ability to adjust what you're showing. And then finally, you can download this into a very attractive PDF that makes it easy to email out to a homeowner on the